stator core loss. And now what is left is the calculation of your percentage efficiency. So percentage efficiency, it is P out or P sharp upon P in into 100. So it will be 12,000 upon 15,000 into 100. So answer comes out to be 80%. So this is the final value which we have calculated for this current numerical. Okay, so please do the calculation by your own and check whether you are getting the same answer. There might be a slight variation in the digits, but that is okay because that will depend upon how much accurately you are considering the calculated or obtained values. So I request you to please note down all the steps so that later on you can try to check the values by your own. So this is the first numerical that we have solved based upon the concept of power flow. Okay, so let us proceed further with the next numerical. Now this next numerical I have taken it from summer 2014 question paper, question number 3A. Now what they have given in this numerical? A 6-pole 50 Hz 3-phase induction motor running on full load develops a useful torque of 150 Newton meter at rotor frequency. So number of poles is 6 once again. Frequency is 50 Hz. The motor is developing a useful torque. Now you have to be comfortable with this terminology. Useful torque means it is the shaft torque. So it is developing a shaft torque of 150 Newton meter. And this amount of torque is getting developed at a rotor frequency of 1.5 Hz. Calculate the shaft power if the mechanical torque lost in friction is 10 Newton meter. Okay, now they are saying us to calculate the shaft power from this much information. Now we already developed the relationship between rotor frequency and the stator frequency as Fr is equal to S into Fs, and therefore the slip will come out to be Fr upon Fs, that is 1.5 upon 50. So the answer is 0.03 or 3%. So in addition, we will also calculate the rotor speed. The rotor speed is 1 minus S into Ns. So as it is a 6-pole induction motor, synchronous speed will be 1000 rpm, and therefore rotor speed will be 970 rpm. Now PSH. So the shaft power, it is given by the formula 2 pi Nr into PSH. So it will be 2 pi into 970 upon 60 into PSH, that is 150 Newton meter. So answer comes out to be 15,236.72 watts. So PSH is this much. Okay, is it fine? Okay. So we are not finished with this numerical till now. We will also calculate the efficiency of the induction motor. For that purpose, we need to know the amount of input power. So let us try to proceed further. So now this much value we have obtained as the output power of your induction motor. Now they have mentioned that the torque lost in friction windage it is 10 Newton meter. So the friction windage losses will be 2 pi nr into the amount of torque lost in friction windage. So it will be once again 2 pi into 970 upon 16 into 10. So amount of friction windage losses, they are coming out to be 1015.78 watts. Sorry. Okay, so what now we are having with us? Remember, the mechanical power, it is given by the formula the shaft power plus the friction windage losses, and therefore if you add the shaft power to the friction windage losses, you will get the mechanical power. Okay, so the mechanical power is coming out to be 16,252.5 watt. So this is the amount of mechanical power. Now the air gap power we can calculate. So air gap power it is mechanical power upon 1 minus S. So it will be 16,252.5 upon 1 minus 0.03. So the answer comes out to be 16,755.15 watt. So this is the amount of mechanical power. Sorry, the air gap power. Now if I want to calculate the input power to the induction motor, I need to know the amount of stator core and the stator copper losses. But as no information is given about these two losses, we can say that the stator core losses are negligible, and therefore we can say the input power is approximately equal to the air gap power, and therefore the input power also comes out to be 16,755.15 watts. Okay, so this approximation we have to make as no information about the stator losses is given, and then I can calculate my percentage efficiency as P out upon P in. So P out or P sharp we have already calculated. It is coming out to be 15,236.72 upon P in, which is 16,755.15 into 100. So the efficiency comes out to be 90.93%. So please check the values whether you are getting nearly same or not. If it is fine, then we can proceed further with the next one. Okay, so let us try to solve next numerical. So in the next numerical, they have given an 18.65 kilowatt 4-pole 50 Hz 3-phase induction motor. So remember always, the rating of any equipment which is given anywhere or which is expressed anywhere, it is normally considered as the output rating, and therefore in this particular case PSH they have given, it is 18.65 kilowatt or 18,650 watt. So it is a 4-pole 50 Hz induction motor. Now for this motor, its friction and windage losses are 2.5% of the output. So friction windage losses are 2.5% of PSH. So if you substitute the values, you will get the answer as 466.25 watts. The full load sleep is 4%. So sleep also they have given, it is 4%. And what we are supposed to calculate? The full load rotor copper loss. So this value we have to calculate. The rotor input. So rotor input means the air gap power and the shaft torque, that is TSH. So these three values we are supposed to calculate from the given information. Okay, so please note down the given data so that we can proceed further with the remaining part of the numerical. Now if you recall the power flow diagram, from this much information I can calculate the mechanical power, that is P mechanical, as PSH plus my friction windage loss. So it will be 18,650 plus 466.25, and therefore the P mechanical, that is the mechanical power, it is coming out to be 19,116.25 watts. Now this mechanical power, it is given by the formula 1 minus S into Pg. So from this value and this expression, now I can calculate my air gap power. Let us try to see how much it is going to be. So my air gap power, it will be my P mechanical upon 1 minus S, sleep value is given, that is 4%, and therefore my air gap power will be 19,912.76 watt. I request you people to do these calculations by your own, so that if there is any mismatch or if there is any correction, you can find it out easily. Okay, so once I get the air gap power, the rotor copper loss, we already derived the formula. Rotor copper loss is slip times the air gap power. So answer comes out to be 796.5 51 watt. So the rotor copper losses, they are 796.51 watt. And now what is left? We have to calculate the shaft torque. So shaft torque, it is given by the formula PSH upon 2 pi nr. Now slip value they have given, number of poles and the frequency they have given. So I can calculate the rotor speed. So I will do that calculation here again. So rotor speed nr is equal to 1 minus ns, 1 minus s, that is 1 minus 0.04 into ns. So as it is a 4-pole induction motor, synchronous speed will be 1500 rpm, and therefore rotor speed, that is nr, will be equal to 1440 rpm. And then I can calculate my shaft torque as PSH, that is 18,650 divided by 2 pi into rotor speed in RPS, that is 1440 upon 60. So the answer comes out to be 123.67 Newton meter. Okay, let us proceed further with one more numerical. So in this numerical, let us see what I have given. A 10 kW 400 volt 4 pole 50 Hz delta connected. So the shaft power is 10 kW, that is 10,000 watt. It is a 4 pole 50 Hz delta connected induction motor. While running at no load with line current of 8 ampere, so no load current, line current I have given, it is 8 ampere. It consumes a power of 660 watt. At full load, the line current is 18 ampere. So IFL is 18 ampere, and the input power at full load, it is 11,200 watt. In the numerical they have given it in kilowatt, I have converted it into watts. So it is 11.2 kW, that is 11,200 watt. The stator per phase effective resistance, that is R1, is 1.2 ohm. Friction windage losses are 420 watt. So this much information they have given, and what we are supposed to calculate for negligible rotor copper loss at no load. So corresponding to this particular condition, the rotor copper loss is neglected, that is approximately equal to 0. So for this particular condition, we have to calculate the stator core loss, total rotor loss, that is total rotor loss at full load, rotor copper loss at full load speed, electromagnetic torque, shaft torque and efficiency. Okay, so please note down the given values and what we are supposed to calculate. At full load, we have to calculate the total rotor loss, rotor copper loss, electromagnetic torque, shaft torque and efficiency. Okay, let us try to solve this numerical. This is little bit tricky, but it will help you to understand the concept of power flow in very neat and clean manner. So if you understood the concept of power flow, you can solve this numerical in more easy way. Let us try to see how we can solve this numerical with given information. So two conditions are given for the induction motor. The first conditions are related to the no load operating condition. The second condition is the condition at the full load condition. Okay, so let us try to see. Now at no load, as the motor is not carrying any load, that means PSH will be 0. No output or useful output power will be produced by the induction motor. That means the entire input power at no load will be utilized to meet what? It will be utilized to meet the stator core loss, the stator copper loss and the friction windage loss. No matter whether your motor is carrying any load or not, friction windage losses, they are always present. And therefore, corresponding to the given condition, I can say that the total input power at no load, which is 660 watt, which is given in the numerical, that will be utilized to meet the stator core loss, stator copper loss and the friction windage losses. So friction windage losses are also given. These are 420 watt. So if I want to get the stator core loss from the input power at no load, I have to subtract the stator copper loss and the friction windage losses. So let us try to solve for stator core loss. Now the current at no load, it is 8 ampere. It is a line to line value. And therefore, as my motor is connected into delta, the per phase stator input current, you may recall the relationship between line current and phase current for a delta